Siemens is one of the biggest industrial companies on the planet. That means lots of jobs, loads of value creation, but also quite a bit of CO2. Now Siemens has new ideas how to bring its own CO2 emissions down further. Joe, thanks for taking the time.
Sure.
Siemens wants to reduce its carbon footprint. What's the plan?
Well, the plan is that as a global company, we will always clear that the environmental protection and the environmental care is a very important matter to us. And we always understand our company also to do business as a business to society. So also that means we want to be a part of the society. Therefore, we have decided that we are going to reduce our CO2 emission by 50% till 2020 and will be CO2 free by mid or end of the next decade.
How can Siemens get there? How can you achieve this?
Well, obviously, we need to invest also into our footprint. We have about 300 manufacturing places all over the world. So we are going to invest a couple of $100 million in the next 5 years to make sure that we have all the technology which we produce ourselves applied to our manufacturing places. And obviously, we also will look into the manufacturing, purchasing, logistics environment, so we optimize the process. We make sure that our suppliers understand they can only be long-term partners if they contribute to the CO2 emission. We reduce the CO2 output of our car fleet. So there's a lot of action items we have been putting together to make it work.
So that's good for the environment, for the health of the planet, but what's in it for Siemens?
Well, obviously, being part of a society is one thing, but you also need to make money that we can finance our innovation and productivity and obviously also finance our growth. So we need to make sure that all what we do also makes an economic impact to our business. So if we do good to our company, we can also offer a lot of interesting and environmental friendly solutions to our customers. So only last year we were able to reduce the CO2 emissions of our customers by about 400 million tons, which is quite a lot of impact. So we can do a lot there, and then we can make money by applying our solutions also to the greater good of our customers.
So you're reducing the carbon footprint of Siemens, you're helping Siemens customers to reduce their carbon footprint with Siemens products. What else can the company do to mitigate climate change?
Well, it's also important, obviously, that our customers also have an economic advantage, because if they don't have an economic advantage, some will be hesitating in buying our products and our solutions. And the business cases we usually provide to our customers have a payback period between 3 and 5 years. So it really pays off economically, and it also pays off for the society and the environment in a long-term related way.
In December, all eyes will be on the United Nations Climate Conference, COP21 in Paris. What are your expectations?
Well, I do hope that the United Nations get together and find solutions. There's always been quite an emphatic talk about what needs to be done, but now I think just is the time that we really get something meaningful done. So I'm very hopeful that this time it is the time where we get very clear, very precise milestone on how to bring down the carbon footprint on a global scale.
Siemens has made a considerable investment in oil and gas with Dresser-Rand last year. How does that align with your commitment to become carbon neutral?
Well, that's actually not a contradiction on its own, because we always, in all our targets, in all our visions which we have, we need to face reality, because that's the baseline on where we get started. And today, more than 95% of all cars in the world are based on carbon fuel. So what we need to do in the short term and migrate that is that we need to help to bring the carbon footprint down by making more efficient ways and processes of getting the carbon out of the soil and make sure that it's being used in an efficient way. So we need to do one step at a time. And then we need to go and see how we get to our vision in the end.
Joe, thanks very much for your time.